gracias a todos por darme el apoyo aquí. Mi nombre es Ramesis, vengo a pelear con Manuel Perez. Venimos a ganar la pelea, no sabemos cuál va a ser la forma de ganar, si será por nocaut o por decisión, pero venimos a ganar. Venimos desde Puerto Rico, del gimnasio de Oro Lebrón, en Canóvana, y estamos listos para la pelea.
My name is Manny Perez, I train at the Great Training Center in Arvada, Colorado. Fight fans can expect a war. Doesn't matter who I'm in there with, that's what they're going to get.
It's time to meet the main event fighters. First, fighting out of the knockouts, haircuts from the red corner, an independent fighter from Puerto Rico, and it's Ramesis. And fighting out of the last call, Timber blue corner, from the Grudge Training Center in Arvada, Colorado. This professional 135-pound bout is scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds. Referee is Curtis Thrasher.
8 3-minute rounds in this, our main event of the evening. Ramesis wearing the white gear faces off against hometown favorite Manny Perez. Mr. Perez out of the Grudge Training Center. Mr. Gill coming to us from Puerto Rico is an independent fighter. They are wearing 8-ounce gloves, and this is a 135-pound fight. Blood and guts boxing. Main event time. Referee Curtis Thrasher checks with the ringside officials, calls the fighters to the center, and here we go. Gill coming to us from Puerto Rico. I don't know how much time he spent here in Colorado, if he came in early for training or to try to acclimate, but Perez living here. If Gill did not do anything about giving some respect to the altitude, he's going to notice it very quickly, I can promise that. I've seen fighters come into the state from lower altitudes and professional athletes that got winded walking across the parking lot. And Gill putting some good snap and power into his punches, sitting down right on the end of it. Perez in a little bit of stalking mode here, using his footwork to pressure Gill around the cage. Not throwing lots of volume yet. Now he puts together a 3-punch combination. That shot was a little bit low. Referee Curtis Thrasher gives Perez a bit of a warning. And Perez, nice job, not quite leaping in with his punches, but getting a little footwork behind things, closing the gap, making sure that Gill doesn't, sorry, I lost my words for a second. Making sure that Gill isn't aware of just how far he might be trying to cross. You know, he might be using the length of his arm, or maybe he's bringing those feet and covering another 4 to 5 inches. Makes it very difficult to predict where you need to be with your defense. And with having talked about the altitude, I will say Gill looks to be in great shape. Gill, hands down, around chest and waist level. Perez electing to keep his hands up in a more classic guard stature. Speaks to the fact that Gill must trust his head work and his foot movement. Good job with the low cover by Gill there as Perez tried to go to the body. Gill just a slight twitch of the shoulders and hips, able to take it on the arm. Ten-second clacker sounded. And about to finish with the first of 8 rounds here in our main event. Round 2. 135-pound pro main event. Throughout most of round one, it was Perez using his footwork to steer Gil around the ring, and here in round number two, we can see pretty immediately both these guys going to be willing to plant their feet and throw with some power. Round one, bit of a feeling out round, as is very typical, especially in a fight with longer duration. Classic flicking jab by Perez, just on the edge of being a back fist. Perez trying to work underneath the punches and underneath the guard of Gil. Gil standing a little bit taller, willing to trust his head movement. And Perez not doing as much about trying to push Gil around the ring here in this round. Don't quite want to say they're in a phone booth fight here, but definitely not using as much movement going around the ring as they were in round number one. And Perez comes across nicely with the right hand, just slid it in right over the shoulder of Gil. And Perez looking like he has a target now. You can almost see in his mind the combinations that he's looking to set up. You can tell he's in there thinking about it. Gil set back a little bit with that body shot, skipped off the chest. Speaks to the power of Perez. Fast footwork there by Perez, looking to close that gap. Gil momentarily let himself be backed into the ropes, stood there like he was inviting Perez in. Again, trusting his own counter-striking and his defensive head movement. Gil looking to put something on the end of this round. And we'll be back with the third. About how the altitude could affect Ramesis Gil. Coming up, and then as if to prove me wrong, he doesn't even sit on the stool in between rounds. So showing he's got himself in great condition for this fight. Oh, and a firm body shot there by Perez. And again digs to the body, then comes with the uppercuts. And fully getting his torso and his shoulders into those digging uppercuts was Perez. And we're going to have a stop here. Low blow, going to take some time, give Gil a chance to recover. And Perez is saying, no, it was up on the stomach, and referee says I'll be the one to decide about that. And back to it we go. Perez, at least in this round, looking like he wants to get this fight a little more on the inside. Earlier on, we saw him using that really quick footwork to close that gap, bringing his feet with his punches. Now he's trying to step into range and stand there for 2 or 3 punches. And again, digging to the body. Looks like Perez has found himself a target. 4, 5, 6 punches, 7 punches, 8, 9, 10. Perez really going on the attack here. Gil was covering, but only answered back with 1 punch throughout the entirety of that combination. And Perez, of course, has to be very careful about those body shots, as he's already taken a couple of warnings. I think the referee would take a point if it happens again, but Perez, when he gets him into the spot that he wants, he's having great success. And again, digging to the body and then coming upstairs. Gill answers back with the left and the right. Nice, both these guys willing to just stand there with their gloves up against one another and fire off and engage. A little stumble in the footwork of Gill. Not sure how hard of a shot he took. Referee said there was a clash of heads. I don't see a cut, a bump, or a bruise on anybody. And Perez continues to work the body. Oh, and that was an unfortunate and very solid shot landed by Gill. Now Perez is going to have a chance to recover, and Gill's going to be on the receiving end of the referee's instructions. And not much of a break there. Back to action we go. It's not going to take too many more of those before the referee's pretty tired of low blows. So both these guys are going to have to pick their body shots carefully. 10-second clacker sounded, and Skill comes out firing. Perez answers well. Now Perez steps forward. Gill falters in his footwork just a little bit. Entering into the halfway point of the fight. The bell ushers the fighters forward, and toe-to-toe they go again. It's the kind of action that the fans love. Just stand right in front of one another and exchange. Good with the uppercuts by Perez. His corner telling them they like that. Saw the head of Gill pop up a little bit from those. And again, Perez trying to bring that head up and then come across with the right hand. Classic combination. And Gill pushed backward one or two steps and then steps right forward again. Glove to glove, head to head, and exchanging blows they go. Thudding shots landed by Gill, showing he's still got power in there. The corner of Perez saying, don't stop working while you're in there. Now a little bit of separation. Perez works the jab. See if he brings the right hand behind it. And there it is. Stinging right hand from Perez. Now looking to work some speed. So first half of the round, it was literally toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose. Now working from the outside. Crowd shows their delight at the evasive maneuvers of Perez. Over the shoulder was Gill. Landed well. Perez moving his head and his shoulders with it. Takes a lot of power off of the punch. And corner of Perez saying, we're happy with what you're doing. Just keep with that. Good answer by Gill on the inside. Perez popped him a couple of times stepping in, but Gill had the wherewithal to come back with the right hand. It's the 10-second clacker. Both guys trying to get off a good shot here. We'll be back with the fifth. Entering into the fifth of 8 rounds in this 135-pound professional main event fight at Sparta Combat League's Blood and Guts Boxing. And Gill so far not showing any wear from having come up in altitude, keeping the same pace and doing a good job of not having labored breathing or anything. So shows that he put in his gym time getting ready for this bout, and why not going up against a name like Perez? You got to know you're in for a fight. Gil met Perez coming in with a solid uppercut to the body there. From my vantage point, that seemed like another low blow. And referee didn't see it or say anything about it, so continued action we have. And in defense of the referee, Perez didn't really try to play it off either, so. Now Perez chasing Gil around the ring. Looked like the chin of Gil bounced off the shoulder of Perez there. Stopped him in his tracks for just a second. See what Perez does with Gil backed into the corner here. Lands a couple of good shots. Gil answers nicely. It's actually Gil that got off first in the combination there. Gil, throughout this fight so far, has numerous times had his back up against the ropes or into the corner, but hasn't ever really been stuck there. Maybe once in the first couple of rounds he took a little bit of a prolonged flurry from Perez, but otherwise just doesn't let himself be pinned. Referee calls for a break and brings him back to the center, and again Gil lets himself be pushed into the ropes. And Perez steers him into the corner. Perez picking his shots nicely, and Gil comes over the top also. Thudding body shot landed by Perez. And Gil looked like he almost sat down on the ropes there. Perez continues to work the body. 10-second clacker sounded. See if Perez keeps up the attack, and he does just that, and there's the body shot. And we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's going to be it. Main event knockout win. Hometown hero, Manny Perez. Congratulations. For Sparta Combat League Blood and Guts Boxing, I am J.R. Gordon. Thanks for having joined us ringside. We'll take it up to Butch for the official time, and that will be it for us this afternoon.
At 3 minutes of round number 5, referee Thrasher has called a step to this fight, declaring your winner by KO, Manny Perez. Shot in the ring with Manny. Manny, that's got to feel good. I'm sure this follows you around anywhere you go, but it's got to feel good to feel this, right?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're coming back.
Take me through that fight. I'm sure you wanted to end it a little sooner than that, but finally got it done there in round number 5.
You know, we'll take the victory any way we can get it. I saw the body shots were getting to him, so corner told me to stay on the body, and that's what we did. We prepared 110%. We do all the extra shot, and paid off.
Certainly did, man. Some people you want to thank before you go.
Thank the man upstairs. Thank my family, my beautiful wife, my boys, all you guys out there for coming out and support. I love you guys.
Congratulations on a great victory. Give it up for your winner, Manny Perez. That does it.